Yes, this is Toby you.
Hey. Okay, it should be. Yeah, I think it's gone live now. Okay, I can see it.
I can see you too.
Yeah, I think it's gone live now. Okay, good afternoon, good evening, depending on what part of the world you're joining us from. I can see you too. Time so that it doesn't. All right, so we're good. Good afternoon, evening, depending on what part of the world you're joining us from. My name is Brenda Unu, and we're live on Women's Matters. And this month, we're doing a series called Right to Rise. We're talking to real women who have, through writing, reason out of different situations and reason to find themselves in different ways. Gang, 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 gang. Who do we have here? Today we have my bestie, my former class. She has lettered me.
Oh
We
my
used to be
God.
bestie. What's about lettered me, but today we will manage her like that. So her name is Folu Akerele, beautiful mom of two, lives in the United Kingdom, and she's coming to us live from UK. So let's see what she has to tell us. Follow on this program, we don't introduce our guests, we don't read profiles, we allow you to toot your own horn. So you have the chance to, if you did not have a
I
pitch
think I
before,
didn't.
I'm
I was
sorry.
not informed.
You're not informed. I'm sorry. That's how we put you on the spot. You have to introduce yourself.
Okay.
Feel free to toot your horn. Feel free to, be loud. Anyhow, we love it. We
Okay.
can take it. Just give it to us.
Cool.
You can go ahead now.
Yes. Thank you first for having. I think it's been a long time coming. Yeah, I just kept postponing and postponing, but I knew that for some reason I didn't today is very strategic for me because I didn't know it was going to be that strategic. If I didn't think about it, I just said, "Ah, let me just pick a date. Whether I'm ready or not, I'm going to
Right.
do it either way." So I'm really grateful for being patient and you keep on asking me. So that's really good. Yes, I'm fully accurate. I live in United Kingdom. I have two boys, 6 and 3. A I'm crazy in love with God. I think that's the way I'll put it. Yes, that's one major thing about me.
Yes.
Yes, I'm a business analyst by career. I put that very strongly by career.
Yes.
I love to write. I love to read. I love to have meaningful conversations. Like, that's very, very key for me. Um, yeah, just
Mm.
little bit things about me. There are many other things about me that will come
Okay.
to light very soon, but for now, yeah, that's it.
Yes, as we get talking, right? Aw- Awesome. So thank you, us, Fulu, and lovely to meet you again. So
Thank
today we're going
you.
to be talking about, your writing journey and all of that. Samira has said to us that we should thank you for dragging Fulu out. So
Oh my
I
God.
love it.
Yes, for
So your fans are
dragging
already in
me.
the comments like, thank you for dragging her out. So great. So you're all welcome.
Thank you.
So, Folu,
Thank you.
why do people feel like you needed to be dragged down? Tell us a little bit about that.
I don't
I mean, what
know.
have you
I
been
think,
dodging, first of all? This is the
first
70th
of
episode
all,
of
I think
Women's Matters. 70th. And you were there when it was conceived.
I know,
So
I
please, what's
know,
your story?
I know. I think I've always
Mhm.
had, that's why I said today, I do not know what happened to me when you put that out. For some reason, I had no fear of
Okay.
going live or being on social media it was just very sudden. Like before, like, oh no, I don't want to. I beg. I don't think I'm ready. So
I
this
know.
thought of I am not ready kept on ringing in my
Mm,
ears. By the time you put this out, I'm like, okay, let me just try. But by Saturday night, I had one
mm,
conference, and immediately after,
mm.
I said to myself, I'm ready. You get so just the fear of, oh, I don't think I'm ready. I don't think I'm
Yay.
prepared. I don't think I'm okay yet, and all those things. But I'm ready. Yeah, I think I'm ready.
Mhm.
I think it's just the right time and it's a good timing
I
as
love
well.
it. I
Yes.
love it.
Yeah.
Awesome. I mean, and that's just how God orchestrates things for us. I remember when I saw you and you said, I'll take it. I was like, was that for you? I had to check again. I said, before you change your mind, I'll quickly put date for you. Like, bam, locked it in. I
Oh
said, yeah,
my
in
God.
case it was a mistake when she
Oh
spoke,
my
let's lock it
God.
in. So now,
No, really, I really
immediately I
had this
was
day
like,
planned out. I had this day planned because
is
I was
it for
like,
you?
nothing will stop me and I won't disappoint Brenda. I shouted throughout this evening,
Mm,
go to
mm.
bed, go to bed. I needed to like get things in order. So yeah, I was ready for this. Yeah, yeah.
I love it. I love it. And we
Oh
are
my
ready for
God.
you. So thank
Thank
you so much
you.
for coming live with us today.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so let's get into the
Thank you.
discussion of the day. How
Hmm.
writing got into your rough patch. First, tell us about your writing. What's your story with writing? Have you always been writing? Did you just start writing? What's your story? What's your story? Tell us.
It's very funny that, when we used to write English WAEC exam, like when they tell us to write
Hmm.
essays, when you have options, I would never go to the essay part. I always choose
Hmm.
informal
You
letter
take
to my
letter.
friend.
Letter. I love it.
Because I didn't just see
Just
the
be
my I
take the easiest
have
part.
a yeah, I have a math head. So I didn't think I needed to write. I
Hmm.
didn't just see the need. So my brain was just
Hmm.
calculations, anything that had to do calculations. But
Right.
when I got to uni, it continued. But I started getting like feedbacks from my lecturers, like, is it that you don't know what to write in exam? I used to get angry when people are collecting extra sheets. What are you writing? Do you
Do you
understand?
understand?
What are
People
you
really
people
writing.
writing? Just draw or calculate, and that's okay for you. Do you get? But after I
Hmm.
finished uni, it was more like I found myself as like an outlier. Like I was not really conformed to other people. Like if you're looking for myself in a group,
Hmm.
I don't fit in easily, basically. And so when I'm having conversations with people, it was more like I is that they found it hard
Right.
to understand me. Do you get? Is that they found it hard to understand what
Hmm.
I was saying, or me myself? I I'm saying so many things at once, so I'm picking up different areas, and I'm not able to like marry them together. So that's
Hmm.
when I say struggling. Like, do you know what? Let me start putting my thoughts down and just see how
Hmm.
I arrange them. So even at the beginning, it was really rough. I don't think it even got better until maybe last year, to be very honest with you. It's just more like I
Hmm.
just started writing, and writing was like the journey for writing for me was things that I could not put together when I'm talking because I talk, but I
Hmm.
was just in the wrong crowd, and it was just hard for people to kind of what she say, why is she so passionate about what she's saying, and they're not getting me. But I found out that when I write, I articulate better than speaking. Do you
Hmm.
get what I mean? So that's how it continued for me. And yeah, that's how I got started in writing. I started enjoying it.
Right.
I started journaling. Yeah. That's why started writing, basically. Yeah. Yep. I think the line is breaking just a little bit.
I love Awesome. Awesome. I like that you said that because to be honest, I never really thought about it. I think
Okay. Brenda, I want to make sure it's not my internet. Is it yours or is it mine?
I think I think it could be mine. I would just
Okay.
have to switch the internet.
Okay.
I'll
I'm
switch the
trying to
source.
check, yeah.
I usually switch to my phone source. I was just hoping that today this Wi-Fi would behave, but alas,
No, no,
it is
no,
not in the
you
mood.
picked the right day.
It is not in the mood to behave. So instead of it to
Mm,
disgrace me, I would disgrace it. I would take it
okay.
out and find solution to my issues. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we're back. So I've changed it. So hopefully we shouldn't
Okay.
have any issues again.
All
All right.
right.
So as we were saying, it was interesting that you would say something like that about, how writing helped you to put your thoughts together. I remember the early in marriage when I would, you know, maybe my husband trying to communicate something to my husband, and I felt he wasn't listening to me, I would go and sit down and write him an email.
Yeah.
I write a full email, and I'll line my thoughts one by one, and I will
Oh
not feel
my
good at the end
God.
of the day. Sometimes I would even
Yeah.
communicating, and
Yeah.
yeah, they're struggling with communicating. Don't worry, be like
Yeah.
us, right?
I think for me, that's how I think that's how I started too. Especially when I'm writing longer things. Email was my
Mm.
best way of communicating. If people found it weird, like kilagbe, kilaju, that kind of, why are you writing me an email? That's the only way I could find. I'm like, oh, she's too formal, she's too, but that's the only way I could actually articulate what I was thinking in my head. Yeah. So yeah, that's me too.
Yes. So, okay, awesome.
I think the line is breaking again.
In one of my in my present role, and he said I know numbers. And I'm also, because I'm good at math, right? And she was like, "How can you be good at math and good at English? Like, who is that? There are not many people like that." So the lady
One.
was like,
Is it that one? Yeah, yeah.
I already hate you right now. That what is this?
Is it
And
that
I was
one
just
of the
like,
two? Yeah,
yeah. So they're like, you don't have a math brain and English brain at the same time. How is it that you are this person? You are the one giving us, you are showing A1 in math, and yet you are here writing books. What is
yeah,
going on? And I thought it was funny because to me it was just what it was,
yeah,
right? I'd always been writing as a kid. So tell us about this rough patch of a
yeah.
thing and how we got to this place,
So it
that
was.
that writing was gonna solve it. And just how did you find yourself inside it, Sha? Sha, Sha,
Yeah, I
Sha.
think for me, it started in so like I told you, I've always been so I started writing emails like when I want to explain myself. In fact, sometimes I overtell the story still. So I just would write the emails, I'll do stuff like that. But I started converting it to understanding myself. So
Mm,
literally writing for myself. I wasn't writing for anyone this time around. So I think that's actually
mm,
when my writing got better. When I started
mm,
writing for myself and not writing to explain anything to anybody or anything,
mm-hmm,
basically, that's when my writing got better. Because I would say I was somewhere around 2021. I used to feel I was going crazy. There was a lot of things happening around me, like a
mm,
lot of things. And I did feel I was like, I have to be crazy. Like something is wrong with me. Then I think I searched on the net for therapy.
mm-hmm.
You're not charging me plenty more. I say, hey, God, I cannot afford this money. Do you understand? First of all, I
Mm,
think the thought just came, do you know what? Start right. That's when I got a lot of journals. Like
mm,
I don't know how many journals I have right now. I have journal for everything, for personal development,
mm,
for this, for that, for I have so literally what I was doing was I know which journal belongs to what journal. In fact, I had a journal for nighttime, like under my pillow. So when I wake up in night, there's a thought I'm actually writing. Because sometimes when I start
mm.
writing, I can't stop. It just pours out.
Just
But the
pause,
good thing is
absolutely.
that it was for myself.
Mm,
So it was like
mm,
I'll be brutal to myself sometimes in the writing. I'll be like, it
mm.
was literally nobody. In fact, I had one time, like before somebody go open my journal and see all these things I'm writing. I
I
had one that
know.
I had like a key
Bad
to
luck.
lock it because it was quite a lot. It was like my deepest
Mm,
pain, my hurt, just the things that were going on inside of my head.
yeah.
Go ahead and even write that. I think you're actually very lazy. Like that sort of thing. Or how can you improve
Yeah.
yourself? That sort of, I was really, really, and it really helped me. And I think that was what
Mm.
opened my eyes. Because what writing does is, you're not speaking. Sometimes
Sometimes.
your thoughts get lost when they're coming
Mm,
out of your mouth. Like when
mm,
you're speaking, it gets lost in
mm,
between. But when you're writing, it's like it's
mm,
flowing from inside directly
mhm.
through your hands, whether you're typing or you're writing. Literally, and that's why
Absolutely.
you can't stop because your thoughts are like rushing through. Do you get what I
Hmm.
mean? Like pa,
I
pa,
know,
pa,
I
pa,
know.
pa. So sometimes what I did was even get this thing where you can record and then it writes it down because the things are like
It
rushing through,
was
you want to be able
fast.
to like you want to be like, write it fast. But really it's It really helped me. It was sometime in 2022 where I had to
Mm,
write a letter to I had to write a personal statement to Home
mm,
Office because
okay.
I'm like, okay, this is the time to actually write to somebody. You get what I mean? And I
Hmm.
wrote and I sent it to my husband then, and I looked at me like, your writing is actually getting better. And I,
Oh,
you have really downgraded me, really this.
I know.
Yeah, it was one thing that I know I struggled with. I used to look at certain people online, like Solomon Bucci,
Mm,
Dang Ifed.
dang.
I'm like, God,
Mm,
the way this girl writes, the way this guy, I would message this guy. I really love when I see good writing.
hmm.
Just does something to my mind, really.
Absolutely.
And yeah, it just does something in my mind. But after then, I saw that yeah, it was getting better, but I needed to improve myself. So it was more like I poured myself out into writing.
Mm,
So even when we started doing, like when I met you and started doing this, I didn't think I was ever going to write books or
mm.
anything. No, it was just more like I am writing, enjoying what I'm writing. Before you knew it went into poems. So thoughts would just come into poems and just words. I started writing and I started enjoying it because it was my safe space.
Right.
Yeah, put the kids to bed, come to my table and just write. Yeah, so that was it for me. I think that's a journey. Yeah,
Yeah.
until I got to meet you. Yes.
I love what you said, about, writing when you struggle to put your thoughts together. I mean, I also had a point in my life where I was in, a really deep, I don't know whether to call it rough patch or rough
We all
terrain. So it
do.
was more than a patch.
Mm, mm.
And it was writing that literally saved me. And so when we're trying to pick up a topic today, and you were like, oh, I'll take that as like
Yeah.
I could just relate
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
and it was literally God that took me out with the writing. I didn't even know that I could write at the time. It
That's the
was something like
thing. Yeah.
what's in your hand? And I was like, what's in my hand, Bao? Please, Lord,
That's
I'm
the
looking for work.
answer. Yes.
I was looking for help. Just help me. That's all I needed. You're telling me about there's nothing in my hand. I'm
Yeah.
actually broke. I'm actually out of work and I don't have anything in my hand, literally.
Yeah.
But it was there. And it was something that brought it out. I had to get to rock bottom to find it. And it
Yeah.
was literally what now made me,
Yeah.
have a second chance, literally. So yes, I can totally relate to that. Okay. So, writing, writing, writing. I mean,
Yeah.
in fact, there was something that as you were speaking, you said you had, several journals and all of that. I just started laughing. So me now, I tend to write better when I type.
Yeah.
And my typing is off on the computer. If you give me computer, forget it. Just miss
Your
me. It is
phone.
phone. So you need to see me with my phone. They laugh at me in my office. I use two fingers to type on my
Type
phone as if
every.
I'm on the computer.
Yeah.
They will just be rolling and they say, Madam, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Please. Everybody
Yeah.
types
You
on
need
the
to put those thoughts down. Yeah.
so and I was just going grrr, and my husband was like, is it phone that we are all typing like that? Because that's where I pour my
Yeah.
thoughts out. So I'm able to use my phone. When I first was using the Samsung phone, I was using the Notes app, and then I started to use that's when I developed the use of using
Yeah.
WhatsApp groups. I
Yeah.
could form WhatsApp groups with myself, and I have different groups.
I do
I
that
have
as well.
yes, I have one for
I have
my
like
thank
three WhatsApp groups myself.
yes, I have gratitude journal with me and myself. I have,
Oh my
thoughts
God.
from God. Like when I pray or I wake up from a dream and I get, visions or whatever.
Yeah.
I have a group, I
Yeah.
write that. I have personal development, I have family plan, I have, so
Yes.
just recently I saw a friend that had that put everything in the community. I was like, so I can do
That's
community. Let's
actually
go.
nice.
So I just put all of
Yes.
them in the
I'm
community
going to borrow
and I'm
that
able to,
idea. Yeah.
you
Just put
know,
everything
so
together.
it's just brilliant. Some days I would wake up in the night and I'll be like, okay, just before I go to bed, that's when I feel my gratitude and I think, oh, how was today for me? Just the thought of bringing out because I give myself a target to write 5 things I'm grateful for
Hmm.
each day. Five. You can't imagine how hard it is to find 5 things to be
Wow.
grateful for. You will see me
In
grateful
Lagos.
for bad things. You see me grateful for bad things just to write something down.
In
I'm like,
Lagos.
I'm like, Lord, I'm thankful that the person that scratched my car didn't scratch it too bad.
Oh my God.
I'm thankful that scratch, at least
No.
they didn't remove my lights. Like,
Hmm.
and it's funny, but it is a
It helps
complete
you.
mindset shift. Somebody talked to me that day and say, why are you always so positive? I'm like, oh more, you don't know where I'm coming from. Looking for 5 things to be thankful for daily. I will find
Yeah,
I will
you
find
actually
them
look.
from anywhere.
Yeah, you look
And
for.
gradually changed me into a positive person. I constantly started seeing the positives in everything. Like something bad will happen, like I'm like, people be like, oh my God. I'm
Yeah.
just like, Lord, I'm thankful that it wasn't like this. As in, I will immediately think of five other ways it could have been worse.
Yeah.
That's always my response to anything. When
Yeah.
anything happens, I'm like, oh wow, God, I'm thankful. I can think of five other, and I'm not even joking, five other ways that this could have been worse. And when I say it,
Yeah.
other people around me like, it's true, thank God.
Yeah,
So it
writing
was not
actually
a
does that
mindset.
to you. Yeah. Yeah.
It was
I,
not a
I I
change of
just
mindset.
I just remember something between, and it's so funny that if you are angry, if you're mad at something, because it happens
Mm,
a lot of times, not every time. And I think it was just the Holy Spirit that taught me that strategy, because most of the time, saying just calm down, forget it, it doesn't work. Let's be very
doesn't
real.
work.
But once I pick up my pen or my phone to
Want to
type,
type. Mhm.
once I'm done writing, that feeling of anger lifts. Like literally, it's like I just
Mm,
did a therapy session with myself, writing about the situation that just happened. Do you
mhm.
understand, to myself? And it just takes the anger away. Before you know it, I'm already laughing and jumping up and down.
It's unbelievable. The thing is like magic. I
Yeah,
kid you not.
yeah,
It is like magic. It is like magic. And
yeah.
it's so beautiful to see. And that there are so many things that we don't even know that we have, you know,
Honestly.
that I tell people, and they'll say, oh, me, I can't write. So Coach P, this one that you're saying is because you are a writer.
Mm, mm.
I kid you not.
I wish they knew
Everybody,
me. I wish they knew me.
understand? Everybody can write. Everybody can write.
Every
Everybody
single
has the
person.
ability to write. And it's not even just write, it is write to write better.
Yeah.
And how do they say it? You can write better by writing more. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So it was like I met a coach when I first started saying, okay, I want to start writing. And the first thing I asked was like, okay, how can I get better? She said, "You get better by writing." I was like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
So she immediately set me up on a writing challenge, daily writing challenge for 30 days. And she
Wow.
gave us daily prompts. I was like, hey, every morning I'll look at it and say, Jesus, what is this one again? Like
Yeah.
some very weird things, something like one thing.
Yeah. I think the internet went off again. Okay. Welcome back. Yeah, it went off
This
for a
internet,
second.
this internet is me. It's me you want to try today. Don't worry, we'll still share this story. Don't worry. We are
I'm
here
glad
for
we
it.
stayed on Zoom though, because
Yeah.
if it was Instagram, it would have just gone off, keep tripping
It would
off.
have just taken us and then we would not have had anything to share.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
thankfully,
yeah,
and it's just continuing on YouTube. So it's amazing.
yeah,
So I was like, so I kept on, I was like, how my family members on this Facebook, how my family, my husband, and my husband was already feeling some sort of way about the whole writing. I was like, what are you doing writing on Facebook? You look jobless. I said, oh, sir, hello, sir. I'm actually jobless. Let's be real.
Let's be
It's
real.
not, as I don't have what I'm doing, let me be doing this one so that maybe to keep my
Yeah,
sanity. Do you see? So he was not happy. So imagine me now adding salt to injury by putting some kind of sensitive things there. He would have just
yeah.
really lost it. So I had to be creative. And so I started to write stories. So maybe I want to say something about what would I I would then think about, okay, so what could be a very bad thing that somebody will regret? I will now, fictionalize the thing, color the character up, and people
Yeah.
were like loving it. People will be writing, oh my God, I never knew you could write this well. Oh my God, I never knew, I was just getting so many comments and it was just swelling my head. I was feeling good. Like, is
Yeah.
it me that can write? Like, and it literally pumped me up, and took me out from where I thought I was nothing or nobody because I just didn't have anything. I've always, known myself as an architect, and that was my identity. So the minute I was out of work, it was like, who am I? I was almost like there was nobody left anymore. So I had to go through that season of finding myself, and it came from writing. So that's why I feel so strongly about writing. Like, hello, everybody needs to write too. Everybody can write.
I
Everybody can
believe,
learn
I
how to write.
believe, I believe anybody, if I can write or put my
Mhm.
thoughts down, anybody can write. I think it's
Right.
just the
Absolutely.
idea that we are very stereotyped in our thinking, that we think in a
Mhm.
sense, just like you said, I'm an architect. Okay, those they always call people that like maths and calculation, the left-brained ones, they don't like to write. So it's like a thing. So you just say, oh, assume the thing and say, ah, yeah, me too. I don't think it's for me. That sort of thing. Yeah, but I think everybody can write. I think everybody can write. Yeah.
In fact, in my house, I am the writer. So my husband is the artist, like he's the one that draws.
Mm,
So I have four kids, and one writes, the other three draw. So of my two daughters, one writes and one draws. And so the other day, the one that writes came and says, Mommy, am I the only one in this house that cannot draw? Everybody can draw. And I'm like, can they write? If it's easy, let them try it.
no, but
And
it's
then
true.
I was like, forget that thing. Now, the one that draws, I sent her a writing competition the other day. She's like, I'm going to
Yeah,
box. You say I write, I cannot draw. This one say I draw, I cannot. You are
yeah.
still young.
You can
It's like,
develop it. Yeah,
all right, you just throw your hands at the competition.
yeah,
You don't even have to win. Just write something.
yeah,
I will guide you. We'll look
yeah,
together and all of that. So I just felt that let me not allow them to just be saying, me, I'm the one that can write, I cannot draw. Me, I'm the one that can draw, I cannot write. I'm like, no, 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 you're too young for all of that. You need to try everything.
yeah.
And so back to the fact that everybody can write. You
I
just had to
think
remind
you
myself.
you just mentioned something about family right now. In my house, my mom cannot sit down to write to save herself. But my dad, I've always known my dad since when I was little that he's the
Mm,
writer. He would write. It's
yeah.
like, he'd be like, you don't have to write. Like it's not like it's too much. Like he would write. And I think from
Mm,
myself, my brother and my brothers, I didn't think I would ever write, like I said, but my younger brother writes songs, like he writes songs, and which is really great. I feel like it's a skill in terms of writing. But for me personally, I didn't think I was going to pick up that skill of writing. But God has a way of dragging you to that point. Do you get what I mean? To be able to start writing. Yeah. Yeah. So that's me. Yeah, internet has gone off again. Oh, again. Oh, it came back up quickly. It went off
I
and
was
came
so
back up
sure.
quickly.
I was so sure.
Do you think it's the position?
I don't know what's going on with this thing today. I'm so sure that this is the better internet, but well, it is having its day.
Sometimes I just use my phone hotspot and just rest.
Hmm. Okay, please go ahead. I'll
Yeah, so
skip
I
that
was just
one.
sharing that in my house, it usually happens that one person will pick up stuff. And like I said, I didn't think I was going to be writing. In fact, I know one major thing my dad and I always quarreled about was, why are you writing like this? Like this kind of man was just always appalled with whatever I wrote. Like, what is this? Like I would write something,
Mm,
I have an assignment, I'll write it and give it to him to help me correct. He will change
okay.
entire thing that I've written. Like, what this is nonsense.
Oh wow.
If I remember when I did
Oh wow.
I did my thesis, my I said thesis, my project, my final year project. So I'd written,
Mm,
and after I finished the chapter one, I gave to my dad to correct. He literally corrected everything. For you to know how well
mm.
people know me, and that's why I feel like when people see me talking, I be like, ah, this girl, my HOD looked at it and said, you didn't write this thing. There was no AI.
Oh Lord.
There was no AI there. So it's not
Ah,
like he said maybe I copied it from somewhere. He knew it was written by
mm.
somebody, but he knew it was not me.
It was not you.
Because they already knew me in the department that this one, if you say she should write, she would rather explain the answer to
She will
you
just
than write it. Do you get? I'll just bullet point, blah, 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 blah. And
Mm,
just, so I can't, that's why I said there is nobody that cannot develop writing. Aside to just keep on
yeah.
writing, I think reading actually helps. One major thing I
Oh
feel like you
yes.
need
Oh
to
yes.
learn to settle down. Self-care is not only by going to enjoy
Mm,
yourself in places. Self-care is picking up a book to read.
mm,
Do you get what I mean? Self-care is just
absolutely.
sitting down and writing your thoughts. So I think the issue is that a lot of people, as like I said, stereotyped in their thinking. A lot of people like this is how I am, or this is how I am, or I cannot be another way. Oh. Do you understand? So people just don't see
Mhm,
the need to do these
mhm,
things. And that's what really helps. Because when I read, there's some books I read that especially Priscilla Shira, she writes Christian books. When I read her books, the
mm,
way she writes, I'm like, no. The way she tells the story, you can see that even when she
mm.
preaches, she's preaching that same way, the thoughts, the way it's
Yeah, I follow her
flowing.
preaching. I'm going to look for her books. I love that woman,
Yeah, she
man.
is. There's a way she writes that you can tell that, oh, this is the way this person is writing, that you can understand the writing in this
Mm,
way. And that's what I feel like. So when and that's what I love listening like Joyce May. I listen to these people. When I listen to them, when I pick up their
mhm.
book, when I'm reading their books, it feels
You're
like
hearing it in
they're
their
speaking.
voice. You are hearing it.
I'm
You are
hearing their
totally hearing
voices.
it in their
Like
voice.
TD Jakes, I'm like hearing his
Absolutely.
voice, which really helps. John Baker, I'm
Absolutely.
hearing his voice, which is what I like.
Mm,
Another thing that people keeps people away from writing is that they think a writer should be a certain way. There are different
mm.
types of writers. There are different styles of thinking
Yeah.
of a writer.
Hmm.
Some people write in a certain way, which you taught us during the executive program. People do just they don't just understand. You don't have to be the stereotype. Oh, yeah, I'm going to write. I'm going to
Like anybody else.
yeah. So I
Mm,
think that's the issue and why people run away from these things. They don't just know the power of writing.
mm, mm, mm.
They don't just there's a
You
power
talk
in
about
writing
the
they don't know. It's even in the word of God. It's in the Bible. People do just they don't understand
yes,
it. There was something that
yes,
happened to me
yes.
one day. I had prayed. It was back then in 2023. I was so when I pray after I'm done, I would journal. Like I would literally before I start, I
Hmm.
would journal. So it helps me like put my thoughts through when I'm praying. You will not I was praying about the thoughts and the fears I was having in my heart. You know, I just
Mm,
that was it. 6 months later, I started developing those same feelings. I had forgotten. I was just like, oh, what message will I listen to now that will help me through this path and everything? And I remembered, oh, there was a date
mm,
that this happened, and you journaled it. Go back to that journaling and read it.
mm,
I went back and I read it, and
mm,
literally the fear
mm.
and everything lifted. So people do not understand the power of this writing thing. It's not it's not rocket science. In fact, if you want,
Not
write the way
a,
you
it's
want to
not a
write.
play. Oh. Mm-mm.
Write the way you want to write. Whatever the thought you want to put, just put it, just slap it there. Whatever it is you want to do, leave it there.
It's fine. Write it as if you are speaking.
Yes.
Write it as if you were speaking. And you know what? It is not an issue. People would, the editor will do the work.
Yeah.
They will complete the work for you. Your own is to bring out your thoughts
Yeah.
because the reason you don't write is you thinking, oh, it's not for people like me. Oh, I can't. Oh, I this and that. And then you now make all of us lose the powerful message
Yeah.
that you have to
That you
share
have.
because everybody
Yes.
has a message. I mean, once you
Every
have
single
lived
time.
as long as 35, you have enough experience to share with somebody else because it's not easy.
Especially as a black
You know,
person.
you've done, you understand, you've
There's
been
a
through a lot
lot.
and a
There's a
lot has
lot
been
to
through
share.
you.
Yeah. There's a
So
lot.
you have a lot to share.
Mm,
And so sitting there and thinking, oh, writing stuff for people like me, I can't write. It's not okay.
yeah.
And these days there are all these speech to text apps that can help you. You know, you can actually speak to
Yeah.
whatever and then it writes it out and you you have to correct it. So there's all kinds of reasons why you should write. And like you said, reading really helps. If you struggle with communicating your thoughts, you struggle with, being
Yeah.
articulate, reading is the best thing for you.
Yeah.
The more you read, the more vocabulary you get, the more
Yeah.
you can express yourself, either by writing or by speaking.
Yeah.
And reading game changer. So to
Yeah.
write better, you read more and write more, and then you are there.
Yeah.
Bam, read
Yeah.
plus write is
Yeah.
write better. No, there's no other way to it,
Yeah.
right?
If you don't
So
want
you were
to
speaking
write
about,
for your children. Do you get? Write
do you
for their
understand?
future.
Yes, journal things for them
Just
as
journal
as
for
you're going
them. Yeah,
through
if
life.
that's the best you can do, do it. Because so many children today, I've read stories like it's what their parents wrote in their Bibles, old Bibles somewhere that helped
I
them through
saw
a very
that.
dark part in their lives. If you don't like,
Mm,
think about the future. Think about notes that I got two journals for my sons, both of them. I write there. I will hand
mm,
it over to them. And that's the idea. When they're in a difficult time, they can pick up stuff and read. That's the idea,
mm.
basically.
That's beautiful.
You don't have to
I
do
should
it
totally.
for yourself. If that's the case, do it for the future.
Mm, absolutely. I should totally do that one. There was something I did once. My daughter was turning 15. She's 17 now. And I said that I did 15 lessons for my daughter at 15.
Mm,
And so I said that I realized that this child is so much like me, but we fight so much. And I was like, and I had to tell myself the truth that okay, why we are fighting is because of the things that I see in her that maybe I struggled with as a kid,
yeah,
and
and
I
you're
and I
trying to
don't want
like,
to repeat. And I'm
yeah,
like, no, you can't do this. And I want to
yeah,
gra. It's not working. See. Hmm. So I sat down and I started to write. And I was writing letters to her. And I literally mailed these letters to her, right? So, but it came to me in a dream, from the Holy Spirit to say, do this. That's where you can break the ice.
yeah,
And I started to find similarities in my life and hers, right? And things I'd gone through and all of that. So I started to write to her like that. I say, you know what? I may seem overbearing, my own is too much and all of that. But this is why. When I was a kid, I'll not tell my story. And
yeah,
anyway, you know what? It's going to be okay. I'm rooting for you and all of that. And so I sent her like that in 15 days. I wrote all of them. I sent it, and one day I kept it. And the Holy Spirit sent me to release it. And I said, release it, bow.
like
This kind
your
of deep
life
things I was
history.
telling my child. I cannot. So and I started modifying it. So I was not modifying it like, okay, so for a parent to a child, and I say, dear child, and I say them say, okay, today I'm going to share one secret about you, and I tell them say, so share something that you think your child can relate with, so that's why I'm making it very, generic like that. And it's
Yes,
not me that will come and put my life on the main road. Sorry. Even that book I still haven't finished it now.
I
I'm like, Holy Spirit, I'm
know.
coming. I'll be there. One day I will get.
Yeah,
I will. But, I just thought that it was such a healing thing even for me and for her.
that's the thing.
And
That's
we
the
were
thing.
able to get back. So it
Yeah.
really, really does help for
My mom, I
everybody.
started
I
to
think.
understand my mom better when I started writing.
Mm,
Like me and my
mm,
mom, I'm the only girl, so we would quarrel about many things. But I know it was a very big healing process for me. I remember the first time I actually wrote about my mom.
mm,
Doesn't know I actually started writing like I saw so many things about myself. I like, oh
mm.
my God, all the things I'm always fighting about. Literally, I'm doing them. I started like kind of start
Right there.
understanding, and I think that's the thing. It heals you. It makes you see from a
Mm,
different perspective. It makes you see from the other
hmm.
side of the coin when you write. Basically, yeah, that's what it
Absolutely.
does.
So tell us about the program. You mentioned the program that you did with me. How
Yeah,
was it for
yeah.
you?
It
Where were
was.
you before? Where were you now? Where are you now? And what was the most
So what
striking
I
thing for you?
enjoyed about the program was I was able to structure. I think that's the first thing. I was able
Mm,
to structure my writing. So one of the things I
okay.
struggled with when I was writing, like I said, I just if you check my OneNote, I just dump them in. Like I said, they're just thoughts. So I
Mm,
just dump them. I just make sure I
mm.
space them so that I'll know that I wrote this one here, I wrote this one
So
there.
when this one started, I
Yeah,
even date them sometimes.
do you get? But what with the program, I was able to like, when you teach us about what's the end goal? It's like you're doing, see, it's like you're doing a business plan or a
Mm,
project. What is the end goal? So who are the people
mm.
that you want to, who are your target market?
Target readers.
So you're thinking in
Mm,
that way that they will even understand what it is you're saying. So that was the structure.
mm,
And I think it's needed. It's not even, you see, the program is not there for, okay, I want to write a book. No. Mm-mm.
mm.
it's needed for you to just know how to write. Like I said, the reason why I struggled and I started writing was people were not understanding what it is I was saying. I'll go around in circles before I get to my point and stuff like that.
Mm.
But once that program kind of gave me structure, okay, I know what chapter one is. It's like a story, it's like a journey, like a customer journey. You want this person to get to this point
Yeah.
first. Okay, I'm going to travel. Okay, I only have half tank and I need full tank to get to where I'm going to. Okay, on the way, I'll make sure I pass away.
Hmm.
Okay, I'll get a fuel, a place to buy fuel. Maybe that place will have place that I can we. So it's like a journey you want to take. So when you when I met you and I joined that program, it was like I enjoy taking myself on the journey like it was my target market on that journey. It's like a road
Hmm.
trip. Do you get? So I was able to structure, okay,
Yeah.
how many stops do I have? Five. That's five chapters. If I have 10 stops, I have 10 chapters. So I want to know, and also
Mm.
another thing that helped me, what is each chapter? So your chapters are not empty. Because sometimes you read something
Yeah.
that you're so excited in chapter one. By the time you cross the first two
Hmm.
pages, you are done.
Yeah, like they've lost me.
You understand?
What's going
Yeah, sometimes some
on?
chapters are just empty of, okay, what's the point of this chapter? So each chapter should have something. Another thing that you taught me
Hmm.
was, which I really liked, like when you're starting, I think that's why so many people drop books, by the way. I think many writers need to learn this. Your introduction, the beginning, don't go and
Mm.
start like if you're writing maybe something to do with God or don't go start with something that can capture the person's heart. That'll be like, I have to read this. I want to learn about this story. I want to know what is going on. Do you understand? I want to get to the end.
Absolutely.
I want to, I think people
Mm.
can only read what they can relate to in their lives or what they see around them. But when you go to different levels
Yeah.
of too much English, people don't get it. Do you get? So I learned that I was able to have that structure in terms of my writing. I was able to know what
Yeah.
I'm doing, where I'm going. I like the accountability part as
Mm.
well. Funny enough, I didn't even submit my stuff, but I had that self accountability. I'm doing this. Me and Barisiale, me and Samira, I'm doing this, and I'm so proud that yeah, they're actually doing
Mm.
what they set out to do, which is really the good part of it. But I feel like the program is
Absolutely.
not just for
Mm.
people that want to write books. I think if you want to write at all, if you want to articulate, if you want to see the rudiments, the beginning, you want to understand yourself. See, writing is like understanding yourself. It's like
Mm.
therapy. Do you get? You want to,
Absolutely.
yes,
Absolutely.
that's what it is for me. Just join. It will take
Absolutely.
you. See, there are skills that you will gain today that you might not use them today.
Mm. Mm.
Later in the future, 10 years, 20 years
Yeah.
from now, you would use
Mm-hmm.
them. So I
It will
think
not
that's what
come in
people always say, "Ah,
useful.
what is the use for me for now? What do I need?" No, 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 no. It doesn't go anywhere. Since I
Mm.
spoke to you, since I had that program, I had two topics, sorry, two titles of books at the time I did that program. Now I
Journey.
have 10
Mm.
titles,
Mm.
like literally. And they all start from stories. I am a storyteller. I start from
Yeah.
do you understand? And you just put it that way.
Mm.
It's a journey. But
Mm.
before I used to be even afraid of putting pen to paper when it came to like if you want to just say the word book, I'm like, I'm not a writer. Oh. No, I'm not in this position. I just
I
like to write.
know. I
You
know
get
that feeling.
I just
Mm.
want to be writing. Like I just enjoy it, not because I want
Yes.
to. But
Mm.
in terms of the book, it was instructive. It was not for the start writing books now. No, it was very instructive. I
Mm.
heard from God, this is what you are going to write. In fact, topics like this is what no, I didn't hear like the voice like in my dream. I was like, write this topic, write this, write this.
Yeah.
But there was a time in my dream I actually heard a
Mhm.
certain topic. Nobody was there. I just heard it, write it
Mm.
down. So really, I'm not writing things from my when I'm talking about books, I'm not writing things because
Just,
I just want to write books. No, I am instructed to write some certain books, and the books
yeah,
have messages to be shared to the world. It's not for my
absolutely.
the day I got afraid. Mm, I think that's why I'm taking this up is hey, God will instruct you. He has instructed five other people.
Mm.
He has very
Do you
millions of other people.
understand?
That message that you're trying to cover,
See,
like just
you will see it in front.
before you. Before you,
It's not you that will be ashamed. It's
do you
not you that will be
understand what I
ashamed. Like,
mean? Do you, so it's not
okay, and they
God, like you
told
said, God
me
asked you, what do
no.
you have in your hands? I never thought writing is will be considered as what I have. If I still laugh
Mm,
at myself today, like, God, you see me finish, you can't say make I write book. Me. Of all be like me that don't like to do this. And that's why I said there's some skills that you think you
mm,
will never need.
mm,
You will never need, but you would need them. And that's
mhm.
why I enjoyed with I think almost everybody that came for
Yeah.
that program kind of, ended up seeing that, no, I have to write this. I have to write whatever it is that is in my head to write. And I believe people will read them. I think another thing that discourages people though is they think people don't read. Say a lot of black stories.
Mm.
Trust me, how many people are we in the world? Even if there's 1 million people that read your book, it's okay.
We, do you understand? We are 7 billion in the world. Hello, what are we saying?
Yeah, it doesn't
You will
matter
have
to be
enough.
honest.
There will surely be somebody somewhere that will read your.
Yeah.
I need to say, sometimes our books are. It is one person that message is for,
It might be for
and the
one
person has
person, and
received it
that's the
and
message. Yeah.
you've done your work. There's a book I wrote. It was literally the action of my Facebook posts
Oh yeah, you mentioned
through the
that. Yes.
darkest time in my life. But that time, I wake up every morning, I write something. I just maybe I feel everybody share to anybody free book, and I shared it for
Yeah.
wider all of that. And then one day, a year later, I got a message from somebody because I went to my right maps, I put my number, I put my email, and all that. I
Yeah.
said, "Let me know what you thought." So I get random mails, sometimes random WhatsApp messages from people that I don't know. And they say to me, like this lady said to me, "Thank you for writing that book." I was like, "Which book?" She now goes like, she told me how, it really spoke to her. It helped her through a dark period and she could
Yeah.
really resonate with a lot of things I was sharing. And she was so thankful that I gave her such a rich resource for free and how it helped her
Wow.
that she really want to work with me in future. She let her know this lady was from Zaria, someplace in the north,
Wow.
you know. Like I was like, wow, do you see? I was like, wow. And I would have thought that it was something simple. Why am I sharing? Why am I sharing just thoughts, right?
Yeah.
But I just compiled them because every time I posted those things, I got a lot of engagement. People saying, "Oh, thank you for writing." And I thought, you know what?
Yeah.
Someone will need this, and not everybody will happen on my Facebook page. So let's put this together and just share it. I told everybody, share it to anybody that you know. And the other day, somebody was telling me she shared something for half birthday. And I remember that, oh, yes, I shared this on my 40th. And I mean, this is 5 years after, but hey, I shared it again.
Yeah.
And then I got a whole new round of people coming back again, like, oh my God, this is 5 years after. So the things that we write are timeless. The messages are
Yeah.
important.
Yeah.
And we just
Yeah.
don't know who is going to bless.
I
You don't know.
think it's
You
the
don't know.
fear, and it's just like that. The story of the talent,
Mm-hmm.
where I think God reminded me of that story twice. In fact, that's why in my head had to stay correct. Where because he was given one talent and he just thought there's no
Mm.
need. Do you
Sure,
understand?
somebody they gave five. Let that one go and work.
Do you
Mm.
understand? And you just think it wasn't. And I will equate that to you saying, like for instance, in writing, somebody's like 10, like somebody's like, do you get the person knows like professional writer, so he can write
Mm.
5, average, then the one they're not really good at it. Do you get what I mean? So you
Mm.
don't think it's actually
Mm.
necessary, but you've given an instruction to do it, but you don't think it's
Do it.
necessary. Do you understand? So you think it's
Mm.
needed, but you don't know that there's somebody that needs it somewhere.
Somebody in your circle that only you can feed.
It could be one
You
person and
need to
that's
do it.
fine.
That's it. That whole book I put together could have been only for that lady from Zaria.
It's
It could
it's
have been
from
only for
it's
her.
just like Isaac. From Isaac
Mm.
came nations. I don't know if you understand me. From
And I
Isaac
want
came
bikini
nations.
deal.
So you understand what I mean? That it might just be that one person that reads your book, that picks up your
Mhm.
book, something falls on that person and begins to, that is
And
the starter of that person's life.
you get, she started to prophesy and start to change other people's
Do you
lives
understand what I
from that one
mean?
message she read. So you would effectively have started a chain of reactions
Yes.
that heaven would thank you for.
Yes. I think I made peace with
And you
myself when
must only
I
one
started putting things
person.
on online. Like, I mean, if it's even one like, I'm fine. Maybe it's for that one person. Like, I really do
Did
not,
you get?
I really do
I
not care.
always tell myself my message could be for one, it could be for 1,000. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
If one person tells me I was blessed by this, I'm okay. I'm like,
Yeah,
that is you that made me wake up and write. So
yeah,
thank you very much. I'm done.
yeah,
I don't need 50 people. I don't need 100 people. I don't
yeah,
need 500. One person says, thank you, this blessed me. You've made my day. I keep it moving. In fact, if one person has not even said so, said, and I just say, okay, no, but maybe you're not going to, the person is for will eventually come back.
yeah,
Because some days, some posts will be there and it will be 1 year after somebody will come in and happen and they say, it
yeah. It
was
would take
God's will that I saw
years.
this
Sometimes,
today.
if you see the books we read from all these people, Catherine Kuhlman, those books, I don't think they were like popular then. I don't know if you get me. It's not that people are even like redoing
Yes.
them to
Mm.
publish them and stuff like that because now people now want
Yeah.
them. Imagine years after these people have died.
Yes.
Imagine years.
Like the post I shared about Obama. He wrote
Can
books
imagine.
and nobody knew him. So it
Nobody
didn't
until he
sell.
became president.
And then his life went on, and when he went to go and campaign, he made a very big and popular speech. And everybody's like, who is this guy? They go Google him up. And then they see, he's written books. They go and order his books.
Start
And
buying
before you know
books.
it, everybody's ordering his books.
Yeah.
And the book that was written years before becomes bestseller because of the
I'm
influx
busy.
of orders.
Go back.
How did that happen? Because
No,
the time,
I have
it became
visitors.
his time.
Can you go back now? No. 1 minute. If you
Oh
don't
my
go to your
days.
bed, I won't get you back.
And that's really what it is. So your message is important. Wherever you get, writing is important. And I just say this to say to somebody who thinks that, oh, I'm not the sort of person to write, that you are the sort of person to write. You have a message to share with the world. And in whatever form in which you can share it,
Yeah.
be it writing, be it audio podcasts, be it video messages, please share.
Yes. Yeah. It could be audio
Don't
podcast
be
because there are people
limited by
that
the
know.
fact that,
Yeah.
you may say, oh, you know what, maybe I can write. Maybe you're right, Coach Brenda. Maybe I can write, but I don't really have time. You
Yeah.
see, that may be you, but it's okay.
Just
Just
record
tell
it.
yourself that. Just share
Just
it,
record it, to be
because even in
honest.
the Bible that we're reading today was somebody that documented it. That
And
we have
imagine
it
if
to
they
read.
didn't.
Imagine all the life and times of Jesus were not recorded.
Now go.
Imagine that all the life and times of Moses were not recorded. All the
Can
marvelous
imagine.
things that
I'll
happened
be
with
confused.
the
I'll be a confused
Israelites and the
Christian.
Egyptians were not recorded.
Yeah.
Imagine, just imagine
Yeah.
the story of King David was not recorded. Just imagine all those
Who do not
powerful guys in the Bible,
understand?
the
Yeah.
Gideons,
Yeah.
Deborahs, and everybody were not recorded. I read the story of the five ladies, or daughters of Zelophehad, and I was like, oh my God. In the time of Moses, when women were not even heard, talking of sin, these women marched up and asked for their father's property. That alone gave me in mind that God wants me to be feminist. It's all right. I can fight. Do you get? Because
Oh
not only
my
did God back them,
God.
he
Yeah.
not only backed them, he made it a law going
Yeah.
forward that any daughter will inherit. I'm like,
Yes.
come on
Yes.
now.
Yes. Yes.
So why am I
Yes.
cannot speak? So documenting for me, you are sitting down there, you are not documenting. What are you
Even
talking
if, do
about?
you know,
Imagine if the book of
is
Esther was
that
not written.
bad? Is that bad that people are in church? They're not even writing notes. People do just see the need for writing. I think it's just a thing. I don't know if it's an African thing, because I think sometimes it is. Because there's still how even in high school here,
Mm.
junior high, they give them essays to write. Even from even
Mhm.
the small ones, they write.
Yeah.
They give them
Mhm.
assignments to
They
write.
write.
My son is always saying, Mommy, I don't like to write. Oh, yes, just go. Just go. You're disturbing me. He said,
But
Mommy,
you will
I
write.
don't I don't want to write. I don't feel like writing. My hand is paining me. Do you
But
know what
you
I
will
said?
write.
No problem. Take the computer and start typing. If that's the case. So I
Mhm.
think people just think that it's not necessary. But honestly, trust
Mm.
me, it can do a lot more than you think it can do, even down to small emails. You see people
Mhm.
struggling at work, they can't write just basic emails.
I know. I know. I know. And it's practice. All it
Yeah,
takes is practice. So I
yeah,
tell my colleagues in the office, my team members, I'm like, go and write it. Bring the draft to me. But you must start it. I will not help.
yeah.
you write every single thing. Go and write it first. You see,
Yeah.
then let me now take it from there. And that really is how you get better. It's been an amazing time talking with you today, Folu. I know
Thank
we could go
you.
on and on and
Thank
on and
you
on
for
and
being
on.
patient.
I'm going to our 1 hour mark, and our children are already showing us that,
Oh
Mommy, you
God,
said
they
it's 1
are.
hour. Please come and be going.
They are meant to be sleeping,
So
but I don't understand why they are here.
they're not sleeping. They're like, Mommy, you have not told us our bedtime story. What do you mean by
Oh
sleeping? We're not
my
sleeping. Sorry.
God.
We have to come.
Thank you
We
so
have a
much,
ritual.
Brenda.
Please,
Thank
you don't just
you.
send us to bed.
I will, I
So
will,
thank
I
you so
will.
much for coming out
Yeah, thank you so
today.
much. I'm really grateful. I'm really, really grateful.
Mm.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
If you had one last thing you wanted to say to everyone, one last word that you wanted them to remember from today's conversation, what would it be?
It would be, if you can think, you can write. If
Mm,
you can think, you can write. At least
mm.
everybody can think.
Ah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
you can write. Don't worry about it. Just start. Not for anybody, for yourself. Write a lovely note to
Powerful.
yourself every morning and you see what will happen.
Yes. Start
Yes.
from there,
Yeah.
open a WhatsApp group with yourself
Yeah. Just
today,
write to yourself
or
every
open the
morning.
notes app and just write something. Pick a time of the day, first thing in the morning, last thing at night, and just be consistent with it.
Yeah.
Write something. Little words,
Yeah.
5 lines, 10 lines. It needn't be a whole full
Like you said, the
10,000 words. No,
gratitude
just
journal.
start
If you, they
little.
say, if you can think, you can be
Yeah.
thankful. You say if you, anybody that can think will be thankful. So just write what you're thankful for. Those
Mm-hmm.
sort of things, yeah, will help you. Yeah, I just want everybody to remember that.
Yeah. Just start little before you know. Absolutely. Thank you so much for
Thank
that. That is
you.
so powerful. A very powerful way to sign off today.
Oh, thank you
Thank
very
you, ladies.
much.
This has been Women's Matters, brought to you from Women's Growth Academy. And we are a Christian community of women who just love God and try to be better in everything that we do. And this month, we're having a series called Rise to Write. And, just celebrating the fact that writing can help you to just find yourself, to discover yourself. And we're bringing amazing women who have gone through the process and telling you how it has been for them. I hope you learned something today. If you did, give us a comment, give us your likes, and don't forget to subscribe and like our YouTube channel. So we'll come your way again next Tuesday. My name is Brenda Unu, and thank you so much for coming out tonight. All right, Folu, thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Bye, Brenda. Take
Good
care.
night.